right, this is Haltz. Welcome back to the art studio. I'm here to present a new, well, not so new. This is a vintage lens. I've been kind of on the lookout for a nice wide angle lens with lots of character, lots of imperfections, a unique look of its own. A fairly wide aperture, but nothing crazy, small, usability, making it easy for handheld, gimbal, kind of multitasking, establishing nature shots or whatever it might be, and also maybe some close-ups. This is what I came across. It's the Asahi Pentax 24 millimeter, and it is the Super Takumar f3.5. This is a lens built by the Asahi Optic Company, made in Japan. This particular lens would have been made between 1969 and 1971. It's, let's just have a look. It's an M42 on the back. So this is a M42 mount system, pretty old school. I happen to have an adapter here that's going to allow me to use this on a Nikon ZR. So I got the adapter. It's all good. So many choices these days. I was looking at plenty of lenses, the Olympus. I was looking at the Minolta. I was looking at Nikon. And I'd already built up a few lenses in the Super Takumar category. So this was a no-brainer when I came across this lens. I just knew this was a thing of beauty. Mint condition, beautiful condition. Let's just have a look here. This is the focus on it. Focus throw, very, very short. You're not going to get a long focus throw out of this for those people looking for soft, long, very fine-tuned focus pulling. This is not going to work well. It's so smooth though, so maybe it will. Just depends on your skill level. Close focus is 0.25 meters upwards to infinity when the lens is the closest to the ring. You can see it kind of protrudes out. So that lens coming out does cause focus breathing, if anyone's concerned about that for your rack focus moves. For me, that's just not really an issue. It's got a really beautiful aperture, feels super solid. It's clicked, goes 3.5, half steps, 5.6, 8, 11, and up to 16. 16 is pretty small. It's not the smallest, but for my needs and using an ND filter, it's fine. And even, let's just have a look here at the aperture circle. It's not the biggest circle, and that's the f3.5. So if you're looking for a low light beast, this probably isn't the right choice for you. For me, I wanted something with a lot of character, ease of use, small. This has a 58 millimeter filter thread around the front there, which is different from all the other Super Takumars I have are all 49 millimeter filter threads. So this is a little bit larger front element on it, which is nice. Gathers that light and shoots it through that hole beautifully onto the sensor. So I've been getting some really quality images out of this. It's just a really well-built lens. It's super solid. I love how solid this lens is. It sings. It makes you want to sing, if I can say that. And I'm not even a singer. So basically, I was out the other day. I went out to use this lens to get some shots to make something for this video. And I didn't really have anything in mind. I just went out and I was kind of in a mood, I guess you could say. Just a lot of things happening in my life right now. And, one thing led to another. I saw this guy on a motorbike on the ice doing circles. And initially I was kind of like, man, that guy's making a lot of noise. Super old man move there. And then all of a sudden we were talking to each other, and I cooled my jets and listened to this young man's story, and I don't know, it was super powerful. So at any rate, I said, you know what, we need to film you doing your thing. And so we were in this beautiful location near my home, and went out and did a couple of shots and put together this little video for you. I had no idea if this was going to be the right lens or not for the job. You know, a 24 millimeter, it's pretty wide, 84-degree field of view on it. So that's fairly substantial, especially if you're shooting at on 6K mode with my camera, or you want to narrow it in on the 4K, that works too. So I really wanted that wide, but because this thing also has fairly decent close-up, he was able to do these circles on his motorbike and come fairly close to me, so I could get him almost filling the entire frame. And then as he drove off, it becomes this, like, you know, massive landscape again. So just a super, super amazing experience. I was so fortunate. And, you know, this lens definitely did the job. It rendered well. It had flared beautifully, if that's what you're looking for. For me, that's what I wanted. I want that kind of character. It's a single coated lens, so you're going to have flaring and veiling and all those artifacts and stuff. You can avoid those easily. There's lots of things you can do. I was just kind of really wanting him to be backlit, so I got some really cool flares out of the deal. And so, yeah, let's dive into it. I mean, why not? It's a sick little video, and featuring the 24 millimeter Super Takumar f3.5. All right, let's get into it. All right, so I hope that you really enjoyed that video. I know I did making it. It was just very energetic, lots of energy, ice shards flying through the air. You know, I felt like it was pretty safe. I mean, the thing is that I used to work as a grip, so, you know, it's good to have safety third sometimes, have someone behind you there just to pull you out of the way if you had to. I don't recommend anybody doing that, by the way. That was just my own decision to do that and the fellow. And after watching him for several minutes, I felt confident that we could do something safely and awesome. So that's just a little disclaimer. So what can I say about this lens that hasn't already been said? So many people have probably used this lens. I don't know how many copies there are of this one, maybe 40,000, something like that. Hard to say, maybe more. Super Takumar, 24 millimeter f3.5, just a gorgeous lens. So much character, so much fun to use, super smooth focus, just really, really well built. The list goes on, the accolades of this lens, who knows? It's shot many beautiful images, whether that's photography or cinematography. I like to do both. I'm a hybrid guy, so I like to take photos with this, but also shoot video, and it works well for both, depending on what you're doing. I wanted something vintage. I wanted something manual. I still have lots to do with this, and so much to learn about this lens. That's how you get to know your lenses, and then you start making things and not have to think about what your lens does. You already know what it does. And that's kind of what I'm working towards here, to be fair. So I hope that you've enjoyed this episode. I really appreciate you watching. If you made it this far, that's awesome. And you can do whatever you like from now this point forward. That's up to you. I'm not asking for anything. I'm just doing this out of the basically, this is my passion. You know, I want to share it. We'll see where it goes. I hope to start promoting a little bit more of my art on here. I will be doing paintings. I will be putting prints up for sale. These are merch things that you would be able to buy through this channel or through my website. And we can get more into that into the future. The future looks bright, even though if you look around, sometimes it's hard to tell just how bright that is. You know, but that's our job. Our job is to bring the light into the world and filter, you know, the bad. Get rid of the bad, whatever that means. Let the light come through, like just through this lens, onto your sensor, onto your film, and make the magic happen. That's what we should be focusing on. The good, promoting the good in the world. And this is it. You know, the Asahi is part of that story. It wants to tell stories. It wants to share those moments. And why not through a beautiful vintage lens? All right, this is Halt signing off. Thank you for watching. Much respect, and keep up the good work out there.